Hi, my name is Kawena Charlot, and I am the director of the School of Intuitive Living. And the question is, if we are all one, then why does it feel good to release other people out of my space? Now, this question is coming from one of my students, and so that person is learning this language of energy. And so there's no bad energy, there's just a person's energy, their individual energy, and other people's energy. And as often is reported to me by my students, releasing other people's energy out of their space feels fantastic. So their question is, if we're all one, why does it feel good to release other people? And it's kind of, it's basically two things at the same time. Two things are going on at the same time. So what's happening is we as human beings are all spirits that are in a body that are having a human experience. And so in that sense, we're all individuals. We are an individual soul, we have an individual body, we are having a unique experience. No two people on this planet are having exactly the same experience. And we're all working through our own individual karma. So in that sense, we are all individuals. And as an individual energetic person, you have your own sort of frequency. I like to think of it as a fingerprint of the energy. Nobody else's energy field feels just like yours. So when you release other people out of your energy fields, it feels fantastic. It feels really great. But then this philosophical question comes in is, but are we all one? You know, if this feels good and we're all one, you know, it can raise stuff like, oh, should I feel fine having other people's energy mushed up for me? You know, people have a lot of questions with that. So the way I like to think of it is that we are all energy. We are all made up of energy moving at different rates of speed, right? So I'm energy, this chair is energy, it's all electrons and protons and neutrons and on an energetic sense, and I like to think of this sort of, and this is just me, but I like to think the divine, God, the supreme being, whatever word you want to use for that we each have a spark of that energetic sort of creative divinity within each of us. And even on a scientific level, I think they found that all human beings, they can kind of date our genetics back to a very, to the same source. You know, we're all sort of coming from the same stock, and we all have that same breath of life, and we all have energy. So in a real philosophical sense, if you can pull yourself back far enough, then you realize that even though we're all here having an individual experience, we all are at the same time one. So if you think of it like a leaf on a tree, and that leaf is an individual leaf, that's an individual leaf, and yet if you pull back, you see that leaf is on a tree. And if you pull back even further, like you went up in the air on an airplane and looked down, you might see that tree is really a part of a forest. So you could say, oh, that is a forest down there, that's all one thing. But when you got in, up close and personal, you'd see that leaf was also one thing. So that is how I like to think of everybody being connected. So on an energetic sense and on a divine sense, yes, we're all made of we all have that divinity within us. But we're also here to work our own karma and to work our own, on our own individual life path. So releasing other people out of that space can feel really good, and I encourage you to practice. That is the answer to this question. If you have any questions, please write me at kawena@kawenacharlot.com. Otherwise, press a like on the page, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. Bye.